There was grain in the world, but bread belonged only to those who watched injustice in silence. While childhoods were drying up from hunger, conference halls were busy writing terms and conditions. Then one day, a captain from a small nation said, "If bread can be turned into a weapon, then I will turn feeding into freedom." This is the story of Ibrahim Traoré, a man the world tried to dismiss as a dictator, but whose scattered seeds ended up rewriting Africa's future. When the world was starving, he dropped bread with no strings attached. The air in Burkina Faso was heavy, not with war, not with celebration, but with something far older, hunger, not the kind that screams, but the kind that waits, that hides behind quiet eyes and cracked palms, a kind of silence only the earth understands. Captain Ibrahim Traoré stood at the edge of Vault Z's final chamber, a steel-encased underground room beneath the northern farmlands, untouched by GPS. Around him stood sacks of genetically resilient grain, preserved proteins, water purification kits, and a small box marked simply, "Rain Seeds." No fanfare, no flag, just a promise sealed beneath the soil. He turned to Zara, his most trusted strategist. She was holding a clipboard with final checks. Her voice was low. "They won't like it." He looked at her, eyes sharp, calm. "They don't have to. Hunger doesn't need permission." That night, as the world scrolled past political speeches and luxury summits, Vault Z silently sealed itself. No press, no ceremony, just earth above and life below. But a storm was already on its way. 3 days after Vault Z was sealed beneath the soil of Burkina Faso, something strange happened. A low-altitude Chinese weather satellite picked up unexpected heat signals near the northeast fields. Not from the sun, but from beneath the ground. The data was supposed to be archived and ignored, but somehow it leaked. Within 72 hours, a European analyst posted the grain density anomalies on a private forum. A Twitter bot reposted it. A research student in Ghana quoted it. The post read, "Something massive is being stored in northern Burkina Faso, possibly food grade." In Washington, London, and Geneva, quiet meetings were held. Unauthorized stockpiling, unstable zone control. Who owns this? But back in Burkina Faso, in a small concrete room above the vault, Zara placed a faded paper map on the table. It had one word handwritten in red, "Borrowed time." Traoré entered, reading the map in silence. Zara didn't look up. "Satellite leak is real. We've been spotted." He calmly lit a match and burned the map's copy, then let them see us. But not everything. That night, a man named Comey, former telecom engineer, and now Vault's off-grid mesh operator, came in with a broken USB. "You should see this," he said. The USB held an intercepted message. It wasn't encrypted, which meant it wasn't meant to be hidden. Vault location confirmed. Protocol begins next quarter. Inside asset active. Zara leaned forward. "Inside asset? We've been infiltrated." Comey nodded slowly. "And they're not coming to negotiate." The last line of the intercepted message was a countdown. So, store or surrender. 87 days left. The countdown had begun. 87 days. Inside Vault Z, every sensor, every ration capsule, every tunnel lock was now under 24-hour rotation. Comey had tightened the mesh network firewalls. Zara had shut down all radio movement. And Traoré, he had gone completely silent. In a side wing of the vault, a small classroom had been converted into a briefing station. Maps, ration plans, fail-safe codes. It looked more like a war bunker than a grain facility. That's where Fatou, a 17-year-old tech volunteer from the Sahel, first appeared. She didn't look like a threat. Braided hair, torn school bag, mismatched shoes. But her eyes, they carried something ancient. Not fear, not hope, just refusal. Zara stared at her. "You're late." Fatou placed a cracked tablet on the desk. "Because I was busy doing what your maps don't show." On the screen were drone-free satellite photos, hand-stitched from open-source weather APIs, mapped manually. Dozens of old farming corridors across Burkina Faso's border zones, all still accessible, all off-grid, all perfect for seed drop. Comey looked stunned. You made this from nothing? Fatu replied without blinking. From hunger. That's never nothing. Just then, the vault lights flickered. Then again, Zara reached for the manual override. Comey checked the internal network. Silence. Then a message blinked across the screen in red. Warning. Primary tunnel relay compromised. Vault integrity, 92%, 87%, 79%. A sensor had been disabled. From inside, Traoré walked in slowly. Shut down everything non-essential. Now. Comey hesitated. That'll cut our communication with the ministry. Traoré didn't flinch. Then let the ministry wait. Our field doesn't. As the power went low, Fatu received a message on her broken tablet. Untraceable sender. We've seen your face. Stay out of the soil or become part of it. She didn't show the message to anyone. She just whispered. So they're scared. Good. Something felt different in the nights of Burkina Faso. Inside Vault Z, the machines were humming, fully operational. But the people? They couldn't sleep. Everything was working, but it felt like something was waiting to emerge. Like something buried long ago was ready to rise. That's when Comey found the file. It wasn't on any vault drive, not even listed in the system. It was hidden inside a weather node, placed there 10 years ago, during the early days of Traoré's coup. File name, RSP_visitor_56. Inside it, grainy footage. A blurred figure shaking hands with two French advisors, near an abandoned grain depot. Zara froze. That's the same region where Vault Z now sits. Comey didn't even blink. Yeah, and that's the same man who recommended this location. Traoré. In. Central chamber, hours later. Zara stood in front of him. Her voice wasn't angry. It was worn down. You knew this land was touched before. You still chose it. Why? Traoré stayed silent for a long moment, then said calmly, because they buried something here they didn't want found, and because feeding people on stolen ground is still better than letting them starve. Fatu stood quietly in the corner, just listening, watching. Finally, she spoke. And what if they come back for it now? Traoré didn't hesitate. Then they'll find something else buried here now. In Vault Infirmary, same night, Fatu opened her locker. An envelope had been slipped inside. No name, no fingerprints. Just a message scrawled in red. They buried blood under the soil. You're digging too close. She didn't cry. She didn't flinch. She calmly pulled out her voice recorder, pressed record, and said, Day 4. If you're hearing this, I didn't stop. Neither should you. A vault staffer vanished. Only his headset was found, dropped near corridor E. Inside it, one recorded message. It's not a vault. It's a trap, and we're all inside it now. Zara kept staring at the headset, at the voice note echoing inside. It's not a vault. It's a trap, and we're all inside it now. Fatu had heard everything, but said nothing. There was only one question in her eyes now. If someone could get in, then who else is already here? Comey ran an audit on Vault Z's internal access system. The results chilled the room. One access log had been manually erased. Corridor Section D6 had been opened for exactly 4 minutes, at 2:31 a.m. No security footage. No login record. Zara whispered like the air had gone thin. Either someone hacked our vault, or someone already has a code. In command room, early morning. Traoré listened in silence. Then, with a voice like stone, everyone has 24 hours. After that, we shut down human access. AI lock only. Comey hesitated. But sir, if someone's still inside. Traoré didn't let him finish. Then they've already made their choice. Fatu stood up. No, you're punishing all for the actions of one ghost. There's another way. Zara's eyes narrowed. You have a plan? Fatu nodded. Give me 6 hours. I'll build a heat signature tracker. Works even in blackout corridors. Int. Vault. Deep wing. Hours later. Fatu crawled to the narrow ducts, tablet in hand, eyes locked on the screen. scanning for residual thermal signatures. What she found wasn't a person. It was a hole behind the eastern seed shelves. A wall panel had been surgically cut open. Inside it, a hidden capsule, not part of the original vault blueprint. Inside that capsule, a French-manufactured surveillance device. Active, wired. Fatou whispered to herself. They weren't just watching us. They built this vault expecting to return. End. Command center minutes later. Fatou dropped the device on the table. Traoré stared at it, cold, focused. No rage, no fear, just resolve. He turned to Comey. They never thought we'd find it. Then he added, make it public. Send it to every youth network, every farm radio, every university forum. Tell them Vault Z was never safe. Until today. As the footage hit the dark web, it spread like dry fire and wind. Across Burkina Faso, Ghana, Mali, Niger, the device sparked fury, disbelief, unity. And inside Vault Z, one message blinked on the main screen, icy and anonymous. Congratulations, you've woken the field. A low hum rose in the background. Then Section D6's lights turned red. The video for 2 leaks spread like wildfire. In under 48 hours, it had crossed into Kenya's farmer unions, Ghanaian universities, Sudanese rebel forums, and even rural WhatsApp groups in Mali. Vault Z, the last real food reserve, was being watched by foreign intelligence. For how long? And why? In Geneva, officials sat in silence. A single line kept repeating in their internal briefings. Traoré is no longer a local problem. CNN ran a segment titled, Feeding or Rebelling? What is Traoré really doing underground? Fox News called him the African dictator with a grain army. Meanwhile, in Burkina Faso, Fatou wasn't safe anymore. And Market Square Day, she was helping distribute low-cost rice packs from Vault Z's first unlocked capsule when a masked man walked up and handed her a small gift wrap box. He smiled and walked away. Inside was a cracked mirror and a blood-red message carved on the back. Your face feeds fire. Watch it burn. She didn't flinch. She placed a mirror on the nearest table, clicked a photo, and uploaded it with the caption, If feeding people scares you, maybe you will never hear from them. The post went viral in under 20 minutes. In Vault Z, War Room, Night. Zara slammed the table. This is getting out of hand. We're not a government. We're not a militia. We're a storage vault. Why are we fighting like it's war? Traoré stared at the large grain vault blueprint glowing on the table because they made food political. We just gave a flag. He looked up. It's time to open Route B. Comey turned pale. Sir, that'll expose the coastal path to foreign ports. You really want to do that? Traoré nodded. Yes. If they want to stop us, let them try at C2. As Vault Z activates Route B, a rare grain waterway path towards Senegal's coast, a hacked Chinese satellite sends a low-res image to their screen. A cargo ship floating near Ghana, and someone on board holding a Vault Z access card. Fatou stared at the screen. There's a mole outside the vault with our grain. Route B, connected to Burkina Faso's inland river system, was a century-old path, once carved during colonial era for the salt trade. Today, from that same forgotten waterway, Vault Z's first grain capsule boat had launched, heading west toward Senegal. Fatou stood near the control screen, eyes fixed on the vessel's GPS. Route clean. No interference yet. Comey replied coldly. They won't strike first. They'll let us trust it. Then they'll sink it. End. Grain Boat 07 Night. Volunteer Captain Merriam radioed in. We're past checkpoint 4. Ocean winds incoming. Then silence. All signals dropped. Fatou, refresh. No result. Zara, try the military relay. Only static. Then suddenly, one message appeared on the monitor. A single intercepted transmission. Floating won't feed you. Zara turned white. They sank it. Int. Burkina Faso, Vault Z command room. Truist's eyes went cold. The same old steel beneath the silence. Next boat won't be volunteers. It'll be tracked live, and it'll be armed. Comey shouted. Armed grain boats. We'll look like pirates. Traoré answered without blinking. Then let them call us what they like, as long as someone eats. End. Alley near vault, same night. Fatou was walking home. That's when a dark van screeched to a stop behind her. 3 men jumped out. One sprayed chloroform on her face. But before she lost consciousness, her fingers tapped her tablet's quick alert button. A silent signal raced through the underground line, straight to Zara's emergency relay room. End. Vault emergency channel. Signal received. Code red. Fatou abducted. Route X activated. Zara didn't flinch. Comey, get the drone. I want eyes in the city in 30 seconds. A drone camera zoomed in on a dark building near the Ouagadougou border. Inside, Fatou, tied to a chair. Facing her, the same French advisor Traoré had once shaken hands with 10 years ago. He smiled. Your captain started this. But you, my dear, you're the face people trust. So we're going to use it. Fatou's eyes opened in a dark room. Her shoulders were tied. A table in front of her. And across that table, the same foreign operative who had once been photographed with Traoré in 2015. He spoke calmly. You don't need to die. You just need to read something. On camera. Fatou gave a cold smile. You're scared. I must be doing something right. In Vault Z, night. Comey traced the drone feed. Zara locked onto Fatou's tablet ping. Near the outskirts of Burkina Faso, Traoré entered quietly. Don't send rescue. Send cameras. Zara was stunned. Cameras? If they want a broadcast, we'll give them one. But not theirs, ours. Int. Dark room. Captivity. A script was placed in front of Fatou. Vault Z is a lie. Traoré has stockpiled food to control elections. She was told, read this, or this room becomes your grave. She stared into the lens, paused. Then she smiled. This message is from the people of Burkina Faso. And for every child who sleeps hungry tonight, we are done being puppets. We are the soil, and we are awake. She kicked the tripod. The camera crashed. The transmission went black. Zara's backup feed caught it. Traoré watched the raw footage. He said just one line. Time to open the doors. All of them. Fatou's final words had already lit a match across continents. But she didn't know that because she was still in chains. In a hidden basement near Burkina Faso's border, her captors scrambled to erase the evidence. The broken tripod. The script. The fear on their own faces. Because 47 minutes after her transmission cut, 1,000 people in Ouagadougou, Tamale, Bamako, and Dakar stood holding signs with just one word. Soil. Int. Vault Z. Night. Zara's voice was trembling. Sir, the footage spread faster than we could track. She just broke their script. Traoré watched his encrypted tablet. Dozens of citizen videos showing protests, flash rallies, farmers driving tractors into city centers. No logos, no flags, just a word, soil. He looked at Comey. Prepare every capsule. Unlock every path. Today, the vault belongs to the continent. EXT, dust rolled outside city night. Fatou sat in the back of a rusted pickup, bruised, tired, but smiling. She had been rescued by local farmers who intercepted the kidnappers during a checkpoint inspection. One of the rescuers turned to her. We saw your video. We didn't come to rescue you. We came because we heard your voice. She closed her eyes and whispered, then let's get back to work. End. United Nations Emergency Chamber. Same time. Panic. A delegate slammed the table. He's opening the vault to non-member nations. This will destabilize trade routes. Another whispered, no, this will feed people who haven't eaten in weeks. End. Vault Z. Central Chamber. Traoré stood in front of a small live camera. No script, no podium, just a seed in his hand. We stored this for us, but we share it for you. Let the grain go. Let no bank hold a hostage. Let no border block a child's meal. He dropped the seed into the soil. And then he said, if feeding people is rebellion, then let the revolution be full. As the first vault shipment rolls across the Niger border, the convoy stops. A small girl runs toward the lead truck. She isn't holding a flag. She's holding a shattered mirror, like the one sent to Fatou. She hands it to the driver. On the back, scratched in red, he feeds. We fall. The trucks rolled across borders, not with soldiers, with sacks of grain. From Burkina Faso into Mali, from Niger into Chad. No customs, no clearance, just food. The West called it chaos. Africa called it survival. In the last recorded footage of Ibrahim Traoré that year, he stood under an acacia tree. No bodyguards, no suit, just a faded uniform, a cracked water jug, and a grain bag with 3 words written in charcoal. Not for sale. He looked at the camera, eyes calm. They sent weapons. We sent wheat. You choose who you remember. No one knows where he went after that day. Some say he disappeared into the Sahel. Some say he lives underground, beneath Vault Z. Others say he died in a convoy ambush. But across the continent, children ate. And somewhere near a broken radio in Ghana, a child whispered to his mother, "Ma, do you remember his name?" She smiled and replied, "I remember what he fed us." That's enough.